While normal people will be preparing to go away for the long weekend in their diesel and petrol-powered cars, the last thing on their minds will be where to charge, how much range they will have, and how to keep the kids occupied during the hours of inevitable waiting times and charging times. Many normal cars can go 1,000 kilometres on a single tank, which then takes just 5 minutes to refill. But the deluded EV evangelists who believe they're saving the planet through their sacrifice of inconvenience and impracticality, by the way, they're doing nothing of the sort, of course, will be worrying about how they're going to reach their destination using slow and unreliable public charging in time, or whether they've got the right apps to connect, or whether there will be any cell phone coverage when they're trying to sign up. And of course, because EV charging stations have such woeful throughput, you can almost guarantee that all public chargers will be full and will have queues. Are you sure you don't want to take that regular car that you all have in the garage for your Easter getaway? I'd say it's probably wise. Welcome back to MGUY, British engineer and lawyer turned Sydney YouTuber. Please be sure to like, share and subscribe, hit the notification bell and drop a comment down below, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter X. As usual, when holiday season approaches, we get the usual warnings about queues at EV charging stations, as regular as clockwork. Electric car owners warned of charging wait times this Easter. With more people hitting the road this Easter, electric car owners are being warned of queues at charging stations. The Easter long weekend typically brings an influx of people to the nation's roads, and electric car owners are being cautioned to plan ahead to avoid spending their road trip queuing for chargers. As is the case with petrol stations, electric charging facilities will also see extended usage. Yeah, nice try to make it sound as if petrol stations are just as bad. They're not. A single fuel pump can get through 10 or 12 cars per hour, compared to maybe 1 or 2 EVs if you're lucky. And the fill you'll get will be barely half the range a regular car can get. So we're talking a factor of at least 10 worse than petrol stations. EV charging providers such as EV, which has over 200 charging stations around Australia, have predicted that over 10,000 EV drivers will use their network over the long Easter weekend. This comes after EV reported that 8,000 unique users charged up at their stations over Christmas. Obviously, with this many electric cars on the road, there will be some wait times on the chargers in heavily populated areas. Bernard Conoplia, head of public charging business for EV, says that it pays to plan ahead before heading out. Before and during the holiday period set to be the busiest, with EV suggesting to EV users to charge earlier in the week, rather than the Thursday before the long weekend, Mr. Conoplia said. Oh well, too bad you've missed it. Rob Asselman from the charger subscription service ChargeFox offered similar advice. Be fully charged before you leave. Make sure you check your charging app before you leave and ensure that the chargers you aim to charge at are operational. Make sure you have a backup charging station before you head there. Don't plan to reach your destination with only 3% on your battery. Brilliant. Just add all that planning to the rest of your preparations for going away. Oh, and don't let it discharge below 20%, and make sure you don't charge more than 80%, and check the wind direction and if there are any hills, as that will affect your range as well. Geez, it still amazes me that people are dumb enough to go through all this hassle, rather than do what sensible people do and just keep driving their regular gas cars and enjoy their holidays.